That is so cool, Dad.
Neil Skinner has been on many walking holidays, but this time he hasn't come home. His daughter Kate didn't know he'd travelled to Scotland until the police called to say her dad was missing.
Initially it was just utter shock, disbelief. I just remember going to bed that first night, just laying on my pillow and I just cried, because I just thought, my dad is out in the middle of nowhere with no cover. He must be so scared. The first few weeks I just was carrying my phone everywhere with me around the house. I just never put my phone down, never left it, because I just kept thinking, today's going to be the day I get the phone call.
Neil was last seen on CCTV on Saturday the 7th of May at the Green Welly stop in Tyndrum. He and his friends then parked their car at the Victoria Bridge car park before hiking for 6 miles to the banks of Loch Dochard, where they camped for the night. The next day they set off for Loch Etive, but about an hour and a half in, Neil decided to turn back to the campsite as he felt the hike was too much for him. His friends carried on, but because of bad weather they didn't finish the full hike and decided to also head back on the Monday. When they returned to Loch Dochard, Neil's tent, his walking poles and overnight oats were all there, but there was no sign of him. Kate took this video after travelling to the area to try and understand what might have happened.
Did you walk by and he got chatting to you, was enjoying talking so much, he's got disorientated, you've then walked on further and he's said, oh, I must walk back to my tent now, and he's then lost his way back, finding his way back to his tent.
Despite extensive police searches of the area, there's been no trace of Neil. It's also hard for them to get a boat to the area, but this voluntary search and recovery dive team has reached out to Kate to offer support.
Obviously it's deflatable, it's inflatable, it's a lot easier to carry, so a lot less accessible places, actually better place to get into it.
When we've put the kids to bed and things are quiet in your life, that's when the reality hits, and it's a very lonely place to go, because that's when your mind can run away with you and you start going to places that you don't want to go to in your mind, of just sheer panic and worry for what your dad went through, what he could have gone through.
The family's been told it's unlikely Neil will be found alive, and now they're desperately trying to find his body to hold a funeral. They're finding it hard to explain to the children what's happened to their grandpa. He met his youngest grandson Gabriel for the first time shortly before going missing. Susan Ripple, STV News, Derbyshire.